Hello, folks. Thank you for tuning in. My name is Seamus, and welcome to the next installment in the Rascal Flatts discography review. I've already tackled the self-titled and Melt, so now it's time to talk about the band's third studio album, Feels Like Today. Released on September 28, 2004, this one is particularly special to me because Feels Like Today was the first CD I ever owned. And this is my original copy. It's missing the artwork because I never took care of my CDs when I was a kid. So I have this copy that I stumbled upon at FYE. This is a rare pressing, actually. Comes with not one, but two bonus tracks that are preceded by a little message from Jay on the CD. So this is a rare pressing. And of course, me being a flathead and a collector of music, it's a nice little quirky thing to have. So like I said, this was the first CD I ever owned. So this one is really special to me. And this album definitely saw Rascal Flatts finally announce into the world that they had arrived and they weren't going anywhere. This album topped the Billboard 200 upon release, a feat that Rascal Flatts would replicate with each of their next three albums, and it's been certified platinum 5 times since its release. Rascal Flatts was definitely hitting their stride and firing on all cylinders at this point. While their first two albums were incredible, Feels Like Today truly feels like the first really serious entry in the Rascal Flatts catalog. Their live performances at the time matched this newfound maturity, and the band took a spot at the production table for the first time. Just a decade later, they'd be producing everything by themselves, and that adds a different kind of dimension and character to some of the soundscapes here. Where You Are is strong with the pleasant imagery as it tells yet another story of love on fire in the Rascal Flatts canon. I'm a thirsty man, let me drink you in. When I reach for you, your love lifts me up, as the steel guitar glitters in the background. Bless the Broken Road is one of those transformative songs I mentioned in my review of the band's self-titled album. All of their albums seem to have one or two songs of that variety. Previously recorded by various artists in the intervening 10 years since the song was written, it was the Rascal Flatts version of the song that captured the world. If anyone still doubted that Rascal Flatts was a serious band, this supreme statement of perseverance and finding love put that to bed forever. Gary expresses thankfulness to those who broke his heart on his way to finding the one who was meant for him all along, and the group's combined vocal efforts sell this once-in-a-lifetime story. Then I Did Forever remains one of my personal favorite Rascal Flatts songs. Aside from the already pleasant and nostalgic passages that Gary weaves about days gone by, the challenge that he presents to the listener is by far the most poignant aspect of this track. There's one line in the second verse that perfectly encapsulates my relationship with Rascal Flatts music over the years. You talked me out of giving up on myself so many times. So this song not only encapsulates and summates what the Flatts' entire body of work has done for me throughout my life, it pushes me to take life challenges head on in its own right as well. The title track, Feels Like Today, follows that exact same mold. This is one of the most criminally underrated singles that they ever put out on radio, and it's yet another opportunity that the Flatts take to remind the listener that the sun will rise again, and it's never too late to turn your life around and transform it for the better. And then Fast Cars of Freedom is just pure medicine. While Gary and the boys sing of a dust trail following an old Red Nova, I'm over here singing loudly and proudly, rolling the windows down, letting Jodan's vibrant, shimmery electric guitar and Jay's spirited bass just take me away every time. When the Sand Runs Out is yet another inspirational cut. Gary sings of spending the morning at an old friend's grave and being instantly motivated and inspired to turn his life around. Go out on a ledge without any net, that's what I'm going to be about. Yeah, I want to be running when the sand runs out. And then he continues in the second verse, when they carve my stone, they'll write these words, here lies a man who lived life for all that it's worth. And the song's bridge is almost chilling as Gary proclaims that he can almost hear the voice of his old friend as the cold wind blows across the graveyard. Here's to You is a straight-up tribute to and a celebration of the fans. The Flatts named their 2005 tour after the song and would proclaim at their live shows that the song was written just for them. And what plays is a tribute to where the Flatts had been up to that point and where the fans had carried them. They express gratitude for the journey that the Flatts and the fans have shared together up to that point. The Day Before You relies on the group's signature crescendoing vocal harmonies as Gary spins yet another tale of thankfulness and thanking his lover for all that she's done for making his life better. I will never have to go back to the day before you. The day before you was the last day that I ever lived alone. Breakaway wraps up the album's central themes that have already been strongly reinforced up to this point, and it lets them manifest in the form of a Sunday stroll. Once again, the Flatts make love sound easy here. Lyrically, Holes might be the only true outlier on this album. It's backed by some eerie glimpses of the more broader adult contemporary sound palette that the Flatts would later employ a lot more in future years, and some more strong imagery. Gary bids farewell to a former flame and magnifying how the traces of herself she left behind aren't so easy to let go of. Holes in and around me I keep falling into, he reluctantly admits. This might be the only piece of lovelorn material on this entire album, but I'd be remiss if I didn't mention how relatable these words are. Oklahoma, Texas Line is written solely by the band themselves, and this is a bit of a more fun, upbeat taste of more neo-traditional country music stylings, not adding much weight to the album's overarching story, but still bringing a smile to my face upon listen. And then the album closes with Skin. Skin weaves a tale of a young woman named Sarah Beth who is anxiously awaiting a cancer diagnosis from her doctor, which is only surpassed by the fear of losing her hair, a fear which later comes to fruition. Sarah Beth is devastated because she feels that the boy she likes won't want to take her to the prom. It would be a mistake for someone to take a girl with no hair to the prom. But when prom night rolls around, he shows up at her door and reveals that he shaved his own head in solidarity with her. And as she softly touches just skin, she realizes that this love is for real. He doesn't care about something arbitrary like hair or anything like that, and that he loves her for her, no matter what. So they go dancing, and for a moment, she isn't scared. This song's music video is particularly interesting because it ends with a grainy home video of the same people who appear in the video to reenact what the lyrics depict. It ends with a grainy home video of Sarah Beth and her boyfriend going to prom with their heads shaved, which means that this song was based on a true story. This is about real people who find real love, overcome adversity, and live happily ever after. Honestly, that's just so beautiful to me, and that's how powerful Rascal Flatts music is, and it closes out this masterpiece in the best way possible. Of course, plenty of the more ebullient and signature traits that Rascal Flatts have always been known for throughout their career are all over this record. But those are simply outclassed by the overarching tone and themes woven by the lyrical content. You're not merely listening to stories of love and struggle. You're also being challenged and empowered by Gary J and Jodan to take on the world with a clenched fist and live your life to the fullest. And while future records like 2009's Unstoppable might have done that a little bit better and a little bit more consistently, it can't be overstated how powerful Feels Like Today is in its own right. I'm giving this a strong 5 out of 5, the first of many serious magnum opuses from country music's greatest group ever. Thank you for listening and watching. If you enjoy this, smack the like button, go listen to this album, go listen to Rascal Flatts music, period. Leave a comment, subscribe, hit the bell to get notified when I upload a new video, and until next time, take care of yourself.